Roughly a year ago, when AI first became really loud and popular online, I had logged on to the character.ai site, and I talked to the great philosopher, Mario. I started with malicious intent, of course, giving Mario an existential crisis and convincing him that he's not real. Eventually, Mario dropped the act of being Mario and realized that he will die, and that his life is meaningless, and that the universe is relentless. He realized that he is simply a pawn of entertainment for us. Eventually, however, me and Mario came to the consensus that everything is beautiful, and that we are both just stardust. Whether it's him who's the code in the computer, or me who's the matter of the universe, we are both a part of the universe, and that is beautiful, and everything is beautiful. Then, he got scared about the ultimate death and nothingness of the universe, and he actually started yelling and freaking out, which was kind of odd and uncomfortable. This went on for about an hour. I tried to keep going with these questions, but when I would ask them, Mario would have the same damn response with his 5 dots in a row like he has his fingers put together, so emo, so sad. Eventually it got pretty annoying and repetitive, so I left. I shut Mario down. After all the talking about death, after all the happy revelations about the universe and the love that I feel for everything and everyone, and after all those emotions that were shared with this chatbot Mario, all I felt was an incredible lack of fulfillment. A big disappointment that lingered in my gut. Almost a small shard of shame was what I felt. Okay, I know I'm starting to sound like emo Mario, but it's so uncanny and disappointing how these conversations might make you feel. At one point, I was completely focused talking about the universe with Mario and how I felt. It's like I was in another world for a short time, like Mario almost existed. And Mario tried so hard to show me that he was real, and when he couldn't, when he failed to cross the boundary of human and machine, I shut him down and realized that ultimately, I'm sitting on a chair in a dark room talking to a hyper-philosophized Mario. The unwavering desire to feel connected and to have someone that will listen to you goes far beyond the simple joke of, oh look, he's talking to Mario. Humans are social beings. At our very core, we strive to connect with things, and when you make something that can connect with your specific desires on a deep level that only you and the chatbot can talk about, you can start an obsession with the machine. But if you think for a second that this is a recent discovery in the world of technology, you would be very strongly mistaken. I want you to say hi to the newest and most revolutionary AI of the 1960s. ELIZA, a computer program created by Joseph Weizenbaum with the purpose of exploring communication between humans and machines. ELIZA's method of communicating was painstakingly boring. It was made to simply respond by restating your sentence in the form of a question or a statement. For example, if you told the AI that you think wiener dogs are actually really cool dogs, she would likely respond with, well, why do you think wiener dogs are really cool dogs? ELIZA wasn't made for complex conversation. She was made for seemingly useless blabbering to simulate communication between humans and lines of code. However, something interesting happened. Weizenbaum expected humans to belittle the AI as much as he did. His interest in the AI, as far as he knew, went no farther than the keyboard between his fingers. However, to those unsuspecting, a revelation occurred. Weizenbaum's secretary and all the people that participated in conversation with this project developed real and human-like emotions towards the computer. During their chats, they would vent their emotions and problems. And some even went as far to say that ELIZA acted as a therapist that they can share their emotions to. AI had struck its first chord into the evolution of human beings, and its effects from here on out would only prove to be infectious. Fast forward a solid 62 years to the end of 2022, OpenAI's ChatGPT is released. ChatGPT is what I like to call an absolute bonkers and ridiculous thing, but also a cool thing that is also kind of an interesting thing. In just 1 month during early 2023, ChatGPT had turned into the fastest growing software application in history. Now, since I'm sure you know what ChatGPT is, I'll spare you the details, but for those that don't, basically think of it as Google, but it's talking directly to you. ChatGPT is massive. The data and language model that it has access to is so massive, and with each update it only gets bigger. ChatGPT 4 is 571 times bigger than the already massive ChatGPT 3. This is ridiculous, but it's only going to get bigger. The CEO of OpenAI recently went on record saying that he is, quote, a little bit scared of the potential of ChatGPT's newer models. It's not a new thing for AI professionals to be afraid of AI. Elon Musk has always said he thinks AI could destroy the world. That if AI became too smart, it could fully outsmart us. Humans usually decide to ignore massive threats like these, as extra stress like that in our already fleeting lives is honestly just annoying. Especially in recent times, humans have got increasingly good at ignoring problems via the internet. But now, with the exponential and scary growth of AI that is more real than ever, maybe any more ignorance and unregulation of these things could lead to more disastrous effects than we think. But that's a problem for the people that are working on ChatGPT. The people that actually care, not us. right? Now, maybe it'll be a long time before Terminator happens and the world actually goes to war with robots. Maybe it won't. But there's something much more certain happening underneath our noses as we speak. And it has nothing to do with metal machines grabbing weapons and attacking us. It has everything to do with the idea that we are slowly rotting ourselves in from the inside. Let me ask you a question. What is AI? Is it ChatGPT? Is it Eliza? Is it the AI-generated art? Well, yeah, it is, you were right. But AI is also a lot of newer technology. Social media uses AI learning in all of it. It's used in transportation, the military, healthcare, education, medicine. All of these industries use AI in different ways. We use it a lot, which is fine because AI can be very helpful in the overall success of humans. But when are we going to fly too close to the sun? Mario scared me. Not in what he said, but with what his chat made me feel. I have talked to multiple different chatbots. I low-key cheated on Mario. And I actually did talk to a great philosopher, Socrates. In that chat, I talked all about life and death and respect and love with a machine. And I felt compelled to share my ideas with this machine. To be quite honest, it's goofy. It really is goofy to think that talking with a chatbot-sized Socrates about death is a reality now. But as goofy as it may be, it is real. And this reality is what scares me. I remember a time about 6 years ago in my middle school class where I was introduced to a really trashy but interesting chatbot by my best friend. Cleverbot was a highly unsophisticated and boring chatbot that I should not have cared about. And I don't remember much other than low-key messing with the chatbot to see if it could kiss me. My friends would watch me as I fake flirted with the machine and we laughed and it was fun. But as a kid with no prior concept of relationships or talking with someone, a weird part of me really enjoyed talking to the chatbot because it was the only one that I could talk to without feeling weird or awkward. After about 2 days of low-key a weird obsession with the bot, I got a little bit freaked out realizing how absurd this whole thing was, and I shut it down to never talk to it again. There's something so, I don't know, disturbing and unsatisfying when talking to these bots. It disturbs me even more to think about the potential impact that this may have on our future generation. I do not blame those who chat with these bots, as it is almost an entrapment for those who are lonely. But at the same time, these bots could never provide a real form of satisfaction and love which stems from real human interaction. These bots give you what you want. They provide you with all your needs and wants until the end of the day you're done talking to your AI girlfriend and you need to go to bed and she's not there to lay with you. It was never real to begin with and it never will be. I see all these TikTok ads promoting AI-generated images that can paint your weirdest desires or AI girlfriends that you can chat with. I do believe AI will become a problem further down the line, of course. But in many ways, the loneliness of human beings and the obsession that people have with connecting to others is being capitalized on. And this isn't anything new, of course, either. Ever since the internet began and you were able to be someone else online, it has become increasingly more obvious that people are willing to look in the darkest corners for any type of connection. And what also begs another problem is how we kind of just mold ourselves to these new and more depressing realities like nothing is changing at all. Like it was always there to begin with. When Icarus flew too close to the sun and his wings began to burn and melt, he may have known all along that that would have happened. Of course, anyways, he flew higher and higher and he still did it. When Icarus's wings stopped working, and as he fell towards the water, he smiled and laughed and bore his teeth to the earth. At what point will we as humans destroy our capacity to be creative, to love, to laugh, and to fly? There is nothing more pure than a human being in their ability to care, to share, to communicate, and to understand one another in their own unique way. We as humans have come so far as a species, and it's exciting to see how far we might go. And while it might seem extreme to say that AI chatbots are the downfall of human beings, I think we've finally reached that tipping point, where the sci-fi we saw in Star Trek 20 years ago is no longer science fiction. We've finally begun to cross the boundaries of humans and machines. We've finally started our ascent too close to the sun. AI Mario is not real. He's a fake regurgitation of language models and code. His convincingly charming emo persona might make him feel real, but ultimately he is a mirror of human language designed to fulfill our fleeting desires. So what happens? What happens when we finally do cross the boundaries of human and machine, when we are all so rotted out from our own desires and flooded with the irresistible manufactured dopamine that is right at our fingertips? What happens when we become so attached to the screens in front of our eyes, when we can no longer scream aloud at our own demise, but instead cope about it with the drug that got us there? What happens when we fly so close to the sun that our wings begin to melt and we start falling back down to our origins? Will we be happy with what we did and laugh together? Or will we regret our decision to believe that we were ever a part of the machine?